I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. D. Archie Carter, Southeast Mouthpiece. That's King HP.
Yes,
NXT Heat
sir.
Wave just went off the air, and I don't, in the words of Easy to Block Captain, bullshit,
For
bullshit,
real?
bullshit, bullshit.
For real?
Shout out to
I
everybody tuning in on YouTube, everybody in the Twitter space. This is the Attitude Era podcast, and at 5 minutes after anything WWE related, we stream live to you, and we got to talk about it. You want to start at the
Let's
beginning of
talk
the
about it.
card or the end of the card?
Let's start at the beginning.
Let's
Because
go.
I thought the whole card was pretty good. We start off they nothing but bangers. Everything on this match, everything on this card was a title match. So everything was high stakes today. North American title
Everything on
match.
this card was what it was supposed to be. It wasn't no filler matches. It wasn't no
Right.
storytelling. It was like old school wrestling when we had pay-per-views for $49.99, and every match mattered because the titles was on the line. Vinny Andretti, what up?
What up? What up? What up? What up? So
So
yeah, we
start
get
at the
West.
top, HP. We're gonna run through the card real quick.
Yeah, we got Wesley taking on one of my personal favorites, Oba Femi. You know what I'm saying? AKA
I didn't think this was gonna open the show.
I didn't either. I thought the tag titles were, but
And this match set the bar pretty high for the night.
for the night. Now, there's some things I don't.
Femi is scary. A man that size shouldn't be able to move like that.
I think
he got some Cronus from the Eliminators in him. He got some Flash Funk in him. He got some Big Van Vader in him. You know, the big man that can move. Oba Femi moves like he's not that size. And it's a good match.
He's like 6'6", 3 something. But aesthetically, this was interesting, right? Because really, you got Oba Femi. What up? You got Oba Femi, powerhouse, right? Just monster. And then you got Wes Lee, who is hella agile. And the announcers even told you, they made a point to tell you, he's giving up over 140 pounds. He's giving up a person. He's giving up a Devin Haney. He's giving up a Ryan Garcia, because that's what they got to weigh on fight night, on weigh-ins. So that's the size difference. A Devin Haney, a Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson size, like person. Is what, and to see him manhandle. I mean, I get it, the weight, but yo, he just when he swatted,
he ragdolled, he tossed him, he threw him, he did what he wanted to do in this match. He did what he wanted to do, and he won clean. It wasn't.
You have to win. You got to win clean when you're that big, and your opponent, like, no one's got no managers. There's no need for no run-ins. This is his last time at the belt. If he loses, you know what I mean? If he loses, and Oba Femi takes us home. He takes it home.
So we start now with the bar up here. Good, solid match, good wrestling. At this point, I'm 1-for-1 with the picks, and you're 1-for-1 with the picks, because we did the predictions, and we both all picked Oba Femi to
everybody picked Oba. Even Mr. DNA himself.
What's the word, gentlemen?
Acknowledge him. Yeah.
We are here, ladies.
So after that match, what we had, HP?
After that, you had we jumped right into the women's North American Championship. You had Sol Ruka versus Kalani Jordan.
Fine.
And their backgrounds with gymnastics and being gymnasts is, they might be the most athletic females, most athletic people. I don't want to male and female all that. Most athletic people in NXT.
They cooked.
They did.
At this point, up until main event, I had this as my match of the night. It reminded me of like luchadors and chain wrestling. Like, they was giving it up. One of my favorite matches ever is 1997 Halloween Havoc, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio. And it kind of felt, the vibe was that.
Okay. I see that. I actually didn't like the first opening minutes. Like, I liked it, but I thought it was too reversely. Like, all right, man. Y'all got a lot of.
It was playing DNA in WWE 2K24. Everything gets reversed.
Everything gets reversed. once they got past that ultimate respect, he reversed about it.
See, he reversed. He reversed even in real life. Yeah, but it was good. It was a solid match.
Willie Nice. Hey,
Will, if you didn't see it, you might want to tune out because we're gonna spoil it for you, bro.
Hey, it ain't gonna disappoint. Sol Ruka is, man, we talked about this, about the women, the next class of women going to the WWE main roster. And Kalani is dope too. They're both dope. I just think that after the first, for one, the reversals are hella athletic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, cool. When they got into it though, the aerial display,
crazy.
Yeah, I can't put words on it. I think I had this as match of the night. I'm still not sure because the action and all the
what
matches,
it takes to do what they did, can't anybody do that. That takes timing. That takes trust in yourself, and it also takes trust in the person you in the ring with, because that could go extremely bad. But tonight it went extremely well. Kalani retained. You picked Kalani to retain. Once the match started going,
they got into it.
I wanted to change my pick because I felt like you, the reign would have been way too short for Kalani, and she's showing people why she's the first NXT Women's North American Champion.
Salute, Major Rant. I thought it was funny too. I text you too when they were showing you the little pre joint, like the movie, and Kalani made the reference to Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Yep. She was like, Michael Jordan once said, and then Sol Ruka was like, LeBron once said. I was like, oh shit, she out of here, bro.
LeBron James.
She out of here. What up,
peace. Yeah, man. So y'all saw DNA. He popped in. He popped out. He's on the move right now, traveling. He was on the road. So DNA may pop back in, pop back out. Knowing DNA, he's gonna pop back in. So if we not done by time, but he did show up. See, look at me right there. Say his name and he appears.
Yo, man, I was in and out, man, but say it ain't so, man.
Yeah. Dirty. Did our boy wrong.
How did I go, man? I got to speak to the execs over there, man. And I just met Shawn Michaels too, man. I got to go back over there.
This is the greatness of what's going on, though.
This is the Triple H. I say this like every episode. You can't call nothing these days. You don't know.
Except for me yesterday. I had 5. I had 1 wrong.
I'm online, right?
But I ain't gonna hold you. I'm mad. If you go watch the NXT predictions video, your boy told you. I told you who was gonna win. And then I let everybody talk me out of it. And they said I could change my pick, and I did.
Damn, yo.
I think I thought, well, hold on, we're gonna get to that. We still got tag team matches, and we still got the tag matches. Nathan Frazier, Axiom.
Well, what's the count? What's the count on the predictions right now? Who's up?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's get to that. Everybody had Chase U. Everybody lost. So spoiler alert. Hey, Chase U did not get it done. Great match. Axiom and Nathan Frazier.
Fire.
The whole card was goddamn.
Everybody had Trick.
Hold on, I'm gonna get to that. Kalani. Everybody had Kalani, but Jermaine's.
Who?
So the RG Carter. He had Sol Ruka, which is still a good pick, but it didn't work out tonight. Everybody had M'Baku tonight over Wesley. M'Baku won, looking hella strong. I ain't gonna say my dumbass. I picked Lola. I thought there was a time she was about to do it. She did not get it done.
I picked Roxanne.
You picked Roxanne. DNA picked Roxanne. Gamache, who's not here currently, he also picked Roxanne. And then everybody picked Trick. I picked Ethan. After everybody went, I was like, yo, let me change my pick. They was like, they let me do it. I went with Trick. In Toronto, I mean, I don't think the wrong guy won. I think the right guy.
If anything, I would have said Sean Spears because he's from Canada, right? But I didn't think he would win. It was either Ethan or Trick. Trick is too over, too hot, and he's been doing too good of work for this to happen that way tonight. That's why I said it was bullshit.
Yeah, I
gotta.
think it's too early in the rain for him to be losing it, man. I'm not jacking it.
And that's
I
the
like
crazy wrestling logic. Well, he didn't get pinned. It wasn't clean. He still lost the title. So I think we all broke even on the picks then because, yeah, we all even on the picks.
Chase you. I got 1 loss, 2 loss, 3 loss. God damn. Damn, I don't like saying that on the joint.
Hey,
1 loss.
It's all good.
2 loss. Yeah, we all got 3 loss. Hold on, what's DNA? Trick. Oh shit, DNA actually only got 2 losses, so technically speaking, he won. Big Kalani over Sol Ruka. That's where y'all differ. Yeah. So the picks was, you know what I'm saying, good. But here's why we gonna run through the card a little bit. Roxanne and Lola Vice. Fire.
They cooked.
Every match was fire. And I'm gonna say that to this. Lola really looked like she was winning. I don't know what's going on with the hand, if it was kayfabe when she slammed it into the outside of the. Someone tell me what that shit is made out of. Because it's loud. It sound like, you know, what you put a turkey in the oven in that pan that you used to hit somebody when you played wrestling, that if your parents found out, you'd be in trouble. It's loud like that. But I don't know if it's really, you know what I'm saying? But she looked like she caught a little contusion. I seen where her arm was discolored a little bit because she light skinned. So
they behind Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez is the one for them in the women's division right now. So they're behind her totally. But other than that, it was the main event. And
would you say they're more behind her than they are Trick?
She didn't lose.
But here's the thing.
And she did lose, and she won the belt back. Remember?
Yeah, but she also beat another company's champ.
So yeah, they're behind her. They're behind Roxanne Perez.
But don't you think so? With Trick losing, for y'all who didn't tune in, Trick hit the trick shot on. It was a wild series of events. They put Javion.
He hit the trick shot on Javion. Sean Spears was out the ring. Trick went to cover. Sean Spears grabbed Trick Williams' leg and he hit the trick spot on Ethan Page, and he fell on Javon Evans.
And he fell on him, and then Sean Spears had pulled Trick out. And
Javon Evans did what he was supposed to do tonight. He's a real life video game character.
I was pulling for Ethan Page. I was pulling for Chase Hughes so that Ethan and Frazier would turn heel. That's still gonna happen. It's still gonna happen. They talked about it. They made a point. Booker T, they made a point to talk about it tonight about Nathan Frazier and all that. They arrived at different times. There was some miscues tonight where he took a super kick and X, Y, and Z. So they're just laying that groundwork. So when the split happens, one of them might be a singles champ when the split happens, and then they'll be battling for whatever.
I don't see it.
You don't see it?
Nah.
I definitely see it.
What title? Which one of them beat Obafemi?
No, they're probably the Heritage Cup with the
man, Tony D'Angelo. He's the cup. He's the double cup guy in NXT.
He is, but it's time for him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if Trick Williams can lose,
where does he go?
He's in the title chase, though. You put him right in the title chase. I mean, because here's the thing about the storytelling. If one guy just dominates like Roman Reigns, you get a mixed reaction. But here's the problem.
I ain't gonna hold you. I follow Ethan Page in the ring and on the mic. Ethan Page can go. He had a career before NXT that you may or may not know about. Is the reason they put the title on him. I just don't think Trick's run should have ended so soon because it's still fairly new.
No, you gotta end. Everybody can't have long 1-year runs. It just makes it like, all right. It's like I'll tune back in 6 months, right? If every time someone wins the title, I'll just tune in 6 months. You got to have that, you know, just like boxing. Someone could lose that title every night.
I don't want my champ to lose like that.
That's the best way for him to lose. Because now going forward, the same thing Ethan Page said. I didn't get eliminated. I should have another shot, which is how this match had nothing to do with him. It was Javion and Trick, and then I'm going to say weasel, but he talked his way into it. And then Sean Spears got a good victory over Trick on some BS, but and they talked their way into the match. So now Trick Williams is going to talk his way back into it. You all ego, put the title up. Blah 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 blah. I didn't get pinned.
I think this whole weekend, some they got right. I think they got more wrong though. Because
I don't think
last night was a mid pay-per-view. Tonight's was significantly better. Take away the Money in the Bank.
Significantly better.
Take away the Money in the Bank matches. Those are attraction matches. You expect things to go right, and now I think we've been conditioned to kind of look at the things to go wrong. But man, I just don't know. I don't know if we ever gonna see Ava in the ring.
I thought she was coming to be a wrestler, and then it just
she had knee issues. She had some things on her knee, and they put her with forget the group she was with. They put her with a group, and then they made a general manager of NXT. I don't know what's up with Ava.
That's the Rock's pull right there. That's that Bronny James.
That's the nepotism. The word of the week is nepotism.
Hey, you got to take that sip when you say that shit too. Like,
speaking of knee and Bronny James, I know we're talking about wrestling. Bronny put up 4 points in the summer league, and now he's sitting out because his knee hurt. So
yeah, they broke his ankles.
He got cooked.
It looked like they had my man stumbling. Speaking of stumbles, but he recovered from his stumble. Wesley early jumped off the second rope, botch. But I don't like talking about botches all the time, but like I like how he covered it. Like boom.
Did you see Trick Williams?
Oh, I know.
And put Javon Evans like that top rope spot from the to the table.
I was scared.
That was crazy.
I was a little scared for Joe. The way he hit that tape on your side, that hip bone and all that, like.
Yeah, we won't see him probably for a week or two in ring because he's definitely gonna be bruised and battered.
Hey, take it from a guy who broke his hip at a young age.
Well, you did break your hip.
Any age you break your hip is a young age. I promise you.
So let us know in the comments, man, how y'all feel about this pay-per-view? Did they get it right? Did they get it wrong? Who you wanted to win? Did your person win? My picks this weekend was trash.
I ain't gonna hold you. My Money in the Bank was on point. I only got
Speaking of Adam Pearce, Drew McIntyre got suspended because he put hands on Adam Pearce last night.
I ain't gonna lie. I like how they do these exclusives where they follow him and continue to follow him and keep that work going. And you gotta like tune in or find out some more details later. Because in the social media era, like they used to have it where Raw went off the air, Vader splashed Jack Tunney or Gorilla Monsoon or whoever it was, and then you had to find out next week that it happened after. You know what I'm saying? But in the age of social media, you getting it like within 24 hours. Hey, my man was putting his hands on him. I'm like, damn, Drew, this is the best Drew.
What I did like though, I saw Wade Barrett get a little physical. I always wanted a one more bad news run. Because at the height of I got some bad news, Wade Barrett, he retired.
I like Wade Barrett too. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, I like all of that, and I like how that continues. I also think too, going back to another botch that was so dope, was Lola Vice Roxanne. She snapped when she was doing her finisher. She did like 5, and they just rolled right through it and just kept it going. They didn't make a big deal out of it, and I think that's that NXT developmental. I remember one week Braun Breaker was going up against Sheamus, and he like slipped on the turnbuckle. Man, he flipped him over anyway. Took under the Steiner
because
joint.
You have to keep going, and that's the thing about it. If you make a misstep or a mistake, this is live in front of the world. You heard? Like you have to keep. There's no stopping. There's no resetting. We keep going, and if you can make it look like part of the match, then cool. But who do you think had the better night, better weekend, NXT or WWE main roster?
Technically speaking, the main roster, because it just gets more publicity and numbers. As far as match quality, NXT. I mean, from start to finish, whether you agree with the decisions or not, every match was on point, and they didn't have any gimmicky matches.
It was just except for the title match.
What was? Oh yeah, I lied.
Four-way.
Right, fatal four-way. So yeah, and we saw Shawn Spears use that. Yo, I really thought Trick was gonna do it when he came out with a Harlem Heat reminiscent outfit.
I put in the group chat. Trick Williams looked like money. Like he looked that's what I hate. He's over. He's peak popularity. he looked as the best I've ever seen him look, but
Schism.
It was. I don't know why. Why now? I don't know why now. Like,
thank you, Mr.
why
MH.
now?
Well, here's my take on it. I like to see belts change, not like super often, like the ruthless aggression era where people were just losing belts every 2 weeks and whatever have you. But when you can't call it, going back to Clash of the
Castle. I've been saying that for weeks now. You can't call a lot of this stuff no more.
You don't.
It's not predictable as it once was. Because of the new Triple H era, the Shawn Michaels NXT era, whatever's going on, and that's good for wrestling. I just didn't want Trick to not be the champion.
I'm happy with the decision because I feel like, one, he can get his title back. 2, seeing him go into a chase is great because now he's pissed. He ain't trying, because I thought he's too buddy with Javon Evans. I get it, they are buddies, but like, I want to see him be like, yo, my head wasn't clear. I was worried about Javon. I was worried about the wrong. Now, I you know what I'm saying? I want to see an angry Trick. And I ain't going to hold you. Maybe Trick doesn't win or something happens, right? Maybe Javon Evans gets mad at him, whatever. Here's what I'm hoping for. And I asked for this on one of these lives. Oba Femi is got to go somewhere. And if you want to have Trick lose the title now and then build Trick, you don't got to build Trick back up. He's already there.
To get the North American title again?
No. He stays in the world title picture. But Oba Femi comes up, either takes it from Ethan or does something where you insert him. So eventually we get a Trick Oba match. Because I don't see Ethan Page beating Oba Femi. I don't see nobody.
I don't know how well Trick and Oba would be in the ring. Because even though they're both big, they move at 2 different speeds. Trick's not as quick as Oba in the ring.
I think looks can be deceiving. I think Trick is slower. However, you still gotta Styles make fights. I do not think that'll be as good as Wesley because Wesley is a high flyer, very reversally kind of guy.
But it was the reason it was Wesley and not another big man. We don't know. A lot of times, them big men, like Big E say, big meaty men slapping meat is either going to be really good or not good at all. So
I think, and also for Chris Leclerc, I just think it's too early for both. We got the first match with Jacob Fatu last night. I thought he was the only person. I'm lying to you. I thought the match was slow
Jacob Fatu could not be in NXT because he would run through that roster.
No, he's saying. Well, I'm assuming he's assuming when Oba comes up.
I mean, in general, I'm just saying, Jacob would destroy that NXT roster.
Oh yeah, easily too. But I would still like to see, when they start getting around to it. One, right in our window is Kevin Owens, Jacob Fatu. That has to happen. We can get an Orton Fatu also. Because
actually, if you think about it, they're very similar.
Who, Kevin Owens?
And Fatu, yeah.
Yeah. I'm
very similar.
You can give me that at SummerSlam. Shit sells itself.
That's going to be when we seen Gunther and Sheamus, or it was Sheamus and like Elliott. It's going to be the matches where you look like, yo, that was what Sheamus say, banger after banger.
Banger after banger.
Some style, that's my thing with Trick and Oba. Styles make matches. If the styles clash, shout out AJ, it's not good. But if they don't, and it's a marriage of styles, I mean, it's something we're gonna be talking about for years.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mr. MH, but
one needs a monster here. Yeah.
I agree with that, but that's also very
a heel Trick would be cool.
A heel and that's why he needs to be mad. But I also think, and here's the problem with wrestling right now, right? Like literally, every single person on the planet was raised in the Vince McMahon era of booking. So we all have that imprint in us. Every person on the planet. Because if you watch wrestling, you couldn't have avoided the Vince McMahon era.
Yeah, up until not even less than a year ago, it was all Vince since the 80s.
So that monster heel and face.
50 years of Vince McMahon, we've been conditioned to.
That monster heel face thing
50 years a slave.
I mean, that's what we, the monster heel face thing is something we're conditioned to. You're gonna start seeing more of that on big pay-per-views because they know face versus face means people can't really pick. Or heel
and see, that
versus
was my
heel.
problem with Sol Ruka and Kalani until I saw the match. I said, "Oh, you know what? If either one of these women were to turn heel, that would be fire."
I don't want them to do something bad and bring them both to the main roster and make them tag.
No, they won't. They won't see main roster for a while.
I don't know. All it takes, because Miss Shin got up there, and all they use her to is get beat up there and get beat down here, beat up there and beat down. Like, what the fuck is the point? What?
I think what happens is, remember, during Vince era, man, the ring ain't big enough, Vinny. The ring ain't big enough. That'll be crazy.
Almost is what Obafemi is what they want it almost to be.
I think they limited Omos though. I think they didn't let him loose because Omos, the last we seen of him, it wasn't bad. He put on the last match I remember was a solid match. I just think with the big men, they just want them to be big monsters and not show the athletic wrestling side of what they can really do. I mentioned that in our latest double up, the Giant versus the Big Show, which y'all can catch on this channel real soon, Tuesday, matter of fact, with you and Patreon, you got it already. I mentioned how they told the Giant early in his career, don't do the athletic moves, just be the monster. So
I kind of agree with that statement to a certain degree, and a certain degree is the look of the athletic big man, right? Vader didn't look too bad doing the moonsault. He looked fluid. Bam Bam Bigelow was a very good moving big man.
But then here's the flip side of that. Brock Lesnar almost broke his neck.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So it's a flip side to it's risky. So
shit, Sid broke his leg.
Just jumping from the top rope.
Snapped his shit. Oh, that's gonna make
I'm 6'2", 245. I can't do a decent cartwheel. You think I can do a 450 splash? I can't walk in a straight line some days. So
I already told y'all I broke my hip at a young age. I'm not like Mr. Glass. I ain't in no wheelchair right now. Looks can be deceiving. However, I was as a teenager though in a wheelchair. That's
why I mentioned earlier Flash Funk. He was a big man. Tuco Scorpio was a big guy.
Yeah, Cronus, he was.
Cronus in ECW from the Eliminator. Saturn and Cronus. Cronus was a big guy. Big Van Vader was a big man.
Big man. Pause.
Athletic. Brock Lesnar is not a little guy to do some of the things he was doing. So I think they tell people to ease up a little bit. But yeah, that'd be crazy. Oba and Omos. And they both got the O's name. They could flip that some kind of way. They're gonna be really good, or they're gonna be the Authors of Pain. And we don't need that.
I don't even want it. Just because you mentioned it, I don't even want it. Because I feel like the WWE will mess it up. They'll be like, these two Nigerian giants. And then
you know who they're gonna stick in the middle? Apollo Crews.
Where's Slick?
But what I was saying was, remember a few years ago when they were having all those talent releases?
Yes.
This is the first time Vince kind of stepped down or whatever. And what did Triple H do? Everybody they released, he went back and rehired. Mm-hmm. Right? Then they had releases again. Then some people came back again. I think what happens is Paul Levesque, Triple H, brings these people back because he ultimately has plans for people, or at one point had a plan for them. But now it's just, you have a lot of people on the roster, and I think he wants to give people they just do. Perfect example, DIY. Just won the tag team titles. That was something that could have been happened, but they were trying to figure out what to do with Gargano and Ciampa. Again, that's my Mia Yim point. Mi Chen. They put her somewhere because she's there. The person you don't like to talk about, B-Fab, because you said you don't know what she does. That was another released and rehire. So Triple H bringing these people in, I don't know if he feels like he owes them something or he just has a plan for them, but they were released and he brought them back, and now we just kind of figuring out what to do with people. Have Last Legend be Omos and Femi Man if they teamed up.
I think some of these managers are trash. If you're not elevating your team, you're not a speaking point.
I don't know if it's the manager because Paul Ellering should be able to do something with AOP and Karrion Kross, and they just.
But they just brought him back for the note that he was a Legion of Doom to try to like.
It's not working.
Well, they brought him in because whoever he teamed with is like a Road Warrior style team, a big like Warlord and Barbarian, or the Road Warriors for that matter, or whatever. However, they're not winning. So and
Karrion Kross been buried since they made him whatever he was when he first came up to the main roster.
You could let him go. You could let all of them go, really, but you shouldn't because Karrion Kross can go. It's just and here's the problem. Again, guys going down to the mid-tier titles, right? Right now it's not happening, which is good. But whenever you were talking about like when Drew McIntyre was going for the Intercontinental Championship with Sheamus and all that stuff, like why? You have a whole 20, 30 guys who don't have a belt to fight for because anytime people can't get a world title, they just come down, see if they can get this title, they get in the storyline. They're all over Raw or SmackDown, and then finally they go, I hate that shit. Because
it's just a lot of moving parts. And we have been thoroughly entertained, though. I'm not going to hold you. The past month or two and a few weeks of wrestling shows they've been real entertaining. The pay-per-views, PLEs have been good. Going into SummerSlam, going into Bad Blood. Like, I feel the build to WrestleMania is going to be crazy.
Well, shit, the build to SummerSlam. I mean, SummerSlam is basically here. It's next month, but what's the next one after that? The next major is Survivor Series, and that's going to be, you got September and October.
That's when we're going to see Roman.
I think we get him at SummerSlam. I think it's a long way away. But talking about these, I want to see what the date was. The Great American Bash. They put up on the screen. I think I took a photo of it. The Great American Bash is coming through. Damn it. That's Trick Williams. August 6th. So NXT, and I believe that's a Tuesday. And that's their next pay-per-view. So August 6th. Why would I show you my phone? But whatever. August 6th is the Great American Bash. So for NXT, look for Trick Williams to get his rematch with Ethan Page. If not, maybe sooner. But I would expect Ethan to hold on to it to Great American Bash. And it'd be a one-on-one match, too. It's not going to be, Javion and Sean Spears. Nope, it's going to be one-on-one. I don't know what they're going to do with Obafemi. You got to find someone who's on a great run.
So who was your match of the night? I mean, match of the weekend.
Match of the weekend.
Who did it? A performance? Who had a good performance that you think this weekend it elevated them? Because a lot of people didn't get elevated.
Okay, elevated. I think Carmelo Hayes.
He needed to look good. He
needed to look good because he was not looking good for a while.
And I think he actually said that on Twitter, I believe. He said, I needed to be seen.
Yeah. Performing at a high level, and he did it. And he definitely did it. I was very happy with that. I'm not going to hold you. Roxanne and Kalani Jordan both impressed me. I would say those, and Obafemi. And that's combining with Money in the Bank.
I'm trying to go through the card in my head. Andrade looked great in that match.
He did. You're right.
Andrade, Chad, Carmelo, they all looked good in that match. Trying to think who else wrestled this week. There's a lot of wrestling.
There's a lot of wrestling, especially if we go back to Friday SmackDown, because we got new tag team champions on SmackDown. And DIY had a great match. It almost got like
Brian Breaker to look better this weekend, but he didn't look good this weekend.
Disappointment. I wouldn't say disappointment. That was a very harsh word. I thought he looked good. I think they go into SummerSlam. He gets another shot somehow. Maybe there's more people.
Chelsea Green, I think, was elevated. I just hate that she's in the comedy wrestler spot because I think she'll never break out of it. She would never break out of that comedy spot. Damian Priest definitely got some smut on his jacket this week. Tiffany Stratton, absolutely. She was elevated this week. Of course, Miss Money in the Bank, that elevates you. The Bloodline.
Jacob Fatu, yes. But
Cody
Tonga
Rhodes took a Samoan spike to the throat and was pinned clean. More smut on Cody Rhodes' jacket.
You know what? You're right. You're right. But Tonga, what is the point? Like, you just come out here to get beat and beat and beat and beat and beat up. I think
you're talking about Tama Loa. First of all, Tama Tonga is the good one. They was cooking Tama Loa on Twitter. His debut, the debut match, he almost missed the mark. The ref had to save it. And last night he punched Tama Loa in the head. I mean, Tama Tonga in the head.
Tama Tonga. Yeah, Tama Tonga. So here's my thing.
Tama Loa was supposed to low blow Kevin Owens. He missed. He looked like he hit him in the gooch.
How you fuck up a low blow?
He hit him in the gooch. Then when he did low blow him,
yo, get the fuck out of here.
When he did low blow him, he went so far forward, he punched Tama Tonga in the head. So Twitter got a hold of that, and they just post all his missteps and miscues from WWE to New Japan.
I forgot about that. Yo, he is definitely the donkey. I ain't gonna steal.
And see, that's my fear for the bloodline is that once it settles, they can easily make him a comedy act.
Nah, don't. Just get him off the roster, bro. Not get him off the roster. Send him down to NXT though.
Remember, he was Camacho before.
Yo, somebody. I mean, you got the OC down there just getting beat week after week, and they're dope. So send him down there. He can be. Yo, let anybody beat him.
Bro, it's just bad. Like, it's just. Well, what was they say? What they say? You had one job.
You didn't even wrestle, so there was not like you was tired. Like, damn.
And Dreddy, I saw that WWE might make women US and IC belts. Who do you guys think should get them if they do make them? This is something HP talks about often, secondary titles, and he loves booking. So if there was a US women's champion and an intercontinental women's champion, HP, who do you think that should be? Think about it real quick while I let everybody know that each and every week we are live 5 minutes after every WWE event. 5 minutes after Raw, 5 minutes after NXT, 5 minutes after SmackDown. We are live on YouTube and now Twitter. So like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things. Every Tuesday we have a series called Double Up. We did Scott Hall versus Razor Ramon, Kevin Nash versus Diesel, X-Pac versus 6 versus 123 Kid. Tuesday we doing Big Show versus the Giant, and I can't tell you more after that. But if you want to know what's coming up on Double Up early, sign up to the Patreon because you get the episodes like a week early. And it's some other exclusive things on there from DNA, AJ Francis, Leo Rush, Max Caster, some interviews on there that are only on there. And speaking of Jacob Fatu and Bloodline, there's actually an unreleased song on the Patreon featuring DNA, Jacob Fatu, and Z, the Dropout, plus a lot more. So we are active weekly, pretty much every day throughout the week. We got something going on. So thank y'all for tuning in and checking it out. Back to the question. Who would you put the women's U.S. title and IC belt on?
So one belt definitely needs to go to Natalya.
Natalya?
Yes.
I don't think she's with the company anymore.
I don't. She was just on NXT like 2 weeks ago. If she left, damn.
She's not. Yeah, she's not on
she
active.
Just left then.
Yeah, she's not. I don't think Natty's with the company anymore.
She went down to NXT. That's crazy. She just hold on, man. I'm about to Google that shit. I hope not. I mean, I hope so. Wait, what? I hope she's with the company. How about that? I know that. That's what I meant to say. I don't know if it came out like that. But I have to say her, man. I hate when you have all these people who are children of famous wrestlers and they don't get gold and they can wrestle. So it's like you're just using them to put people over. But in order to put people over, you have to be high on the totem pole. Like Charlotte Flair can eventually one day do it. You know.
Speaking of, when we do get a Charlotte Flair return, what does that look like?
It looks like she's gonna get injured again.
You know what would be a good visual? Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill. Visually in the ring, that would look. I don't know how well that match would be, but that would look good.
Charlotte's got to carry some great spots, but I don't even know if that'll be great to look at. Yes, aesthetically, you'd be like, oh shit, this is about to go down. But Charlotte would clean her shit up. Like Charlotte can wrestle, and she's proven she can go through multiple styles. And I'd rather see. I just rather.
I mean, it would look good. It would just. I don't know how. Again, styles make fights. I don't know how good that would be. Let me think. Women's title. You know, I'm a Shayna Baszler fan. I liked working NXT. I think Zelina Vega, with the work she's been doing now, a title on her wouldn't be bad.
So it said Natalya's absence from Raw fuels her contract speculations. Right now, no, Natalya is not out of the company at this point. Although her contract expires sometime in the summer this year, it's unlikely that she'll be leaving the Stanford-based promotion anytime soon. So Vinny hit the nail on the head. He said her contract was expiring soon. Right before he posted that right before I typed it or read it. But at the same time, I got to see her win one, man. And the other one I like is Chelsea Green, even though you just named her as a comedy act, because she's so over and people like her. She could wrestle, so you can put it on her. She can have like she could be like the female Shawn Michaels type, where Piper Niven can defend her, be her kind of bodyguard.
Then you have the whole Damage Control crew. You have Asuka, who's going to be coming back.
You got to disassemble that shit. You got to disassemble that Damage Control. Something's got to. I'm tired of seeing like something's got to change, and like I think after Paige, I said Paige. I'm tripping. I'm sleepy. After Bailey, after Bailey left.
Hold up. They don't look alike. They don't walk alike, talk alike, smell alike, wrestle alike. How you make Bailey?
You know what they smell like?
HP. They smell like talented Nia. Nia's a good one.
Nope.
Nia's a good one.
I wouldn't do it. And this is why. No shade to Nia Jax. I would not want my monster.
She's a heater, though.
Huh?
She's a heater.
I would put Jade in the mid-card competition as the monster and Nia Jax. Even though Nia Jax, I mean, she's hurt a few people. She's had some bad botches before. But I think her loyalty to the company and being, you know, even though she's had her moments with the company where she dipped and all that other shit, she's in a good spot right now. The Queen of the Ring winner going into, I don't want to see her go down until at least she gets a couple runs with the title, or at least one good run, because she just won Queen of the Ring. So I wouldn't want to do that to Nia. You just won Queen of the Ring. You're about to main event SummerSlam for the women's side of the house.
I'm looking at the rosters for SmackDown.
But you can go ahead and take Jade Cargill.
Nobody's popping out at me that I would think would. I'm looking at the total roster. Nobody's popping out.
Dakota Kai, maybe? You did say Damage Control, so
Chelsea. They love Cora Jade, but she's an NXT.
I want Zoe Stark to get pushed more too.
Zoe can wrestle.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. What about Naomi?
Gigi Dolan, I would say, but she's hurt and she's in NXT still.
I would throw Naomi's name out there too. But again, this is the problem too. You have so many goddamn titles. If you notice on the pay-per-view, the tag titles were defended on SmackDown. Liv Morgan defended her title on Raw. They weren't even a part of the pay-per-view. And you still had non-title matches. Heatwave, every match, titles. So if you ain't got a title, ain't no point in you coming to Toronto.
What is going on with Alexa Bliss?
She should be coming back from injury soon. She was on that when Chad Gable got jumped and he was coming into the arena on last Raw. Her face was on that truck in the back, the production truck.
Piper Niven. I could see Piper holding a mid-card title.
But see, her and Chelsea, they can flip-flop for it. You're my bodyguard. They do a Shawn Michaels Diesel type of deal. And I can see, and that's a great rivalry. And I'm not trying to, that's not a knock or slight to nobody, because we saw what happened with Shawn and Diesel. Diesel went on to win. If you watch the double up, you know the information I gave out on Diesel. Yeah, he won all major
Shotzi
WWF
Blackheart,
titles.
she's hurt, but she was really over at one point too.
What about Indy Hartwell? You got to break up some of them tag teams too. You got like a lot of tag teams, but there's only one tag team title for both brands. But again, there's like so many titles and there's not enough women. There's tons of dudes. Well, there is a lot of women.
Speaking of breaking up tag teams, what do you think's happening with the New Day right now? This is the part of the show where we stop talking about what we came here to talk about. But what's going on with the New Day?
One, Biggie ain't coming back. He just had something recently he had posted in the last.
I think he's done in ring like forever.
Yeah,
because even with the Adam Pearce, Drew McIntyre scuffle, beef or whatever,
he didn't get involved.
Wade Barrett got involved. Big E didn't move, so I don't even know how much physicality he could even take.
He just wrote. If we go to his Twitter, he wrote. It was in the last 2 weeks. He wrote something about he had a successful whatever surgery, but however, he will not be allowed to compete currently or whatever it was. So let me see if I can pull up Big E. See if I can redraw that tweet. But at the same time, there he is. All right. Man, I'm not about to. If it ain't in the next like few finger scrolls, I ain't about to go porn looking down.
I'm sure you've scrolled for less in your phone.
Absolutely. But not while we're live.
I just think that the New Day, actually to me, the New Day was over when they made Big E a singles. It never packed the same punch without Big E.
It doesn't. Y'all need the muscle. He's your muscle. You have the high flyer. You're a wrestling guy with why I can't even think of my
Kofi.
Man. No, not Kofi.
Woods.
Kofi's your high flyer and
Xavier Woods.
Yeah, Xavier Woods. Even though I think his thing with Karrion Kross hopefully can ignite Karrion, Xavier was a King of the Ring winner that did nothing. It did not this is where we're just gonna laugh.
They made it a comedy act. Once certain things are put on your jacket, it's hard to escape. Who was a comedy act? The only comedy act I think that really worked was Kurt Angle. And
he wasn't a comedy act,
DX, of course.
He turned you can't. I think, and that's a rule for in life, in business or whatever. If you come into a new job and you're like, ha, 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 and now you're put in a supervisor position, and then you trying to tell people hey, we got to execute X, Y, and Z. This is what I want. People don't take you serious. Humans, natural people. Why, bro?
I worked at a company where if you were up for a promotion to a manager, upper management position, you could not be promoted within that building or location for that simple fact. It was a thing that people who were your equals won't view you as a superior.
Well, I'm not going to agree or disagree with that sentiment because I've seen it work both ways. So it just depends.
But if we kicking it and doing stuff outside of work, then I'm your boss now. I'm trying to tell you what to do. You're not going to listen to me. It's definitely going to be a conflict.
It definitely can be. It definitely can be. Hey, don't join the military. I'll tell you that then.
So what chain of command? Don't date a girl that goes off to the Navy. That's my advice. You'll never see her again.
You've been bamboozled, hoodwinked. You've been shafted. But
hey, what my man said, I'm the captain now.
Yeah, I got catfish. So it happens. I got catfish on a live and had to talk to y'all.
I'm the captain now.
That's my boat. I ain't gonna talk about it because I think they're subscribed. So anyway,
speaking of subscribe, shout out to the 10,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the followers on Twitter, because we're streaming live now. Even though she's new, live with Valkyria, that would elevate her, but I think the wins matter now in WWE. Who you beat and how you beat them matters in this Triple H era. So
I like the era. I like what we see going back to tonight. NXT has women's mid-card titles. Not if they do one, I think they should do one between both brands, and they should make it called like the TV title. And the reason why it's TV title, you will be on Raw defending it, and you'll go to SmackDown to defend it. Now
that's
it makes
sense.
Work.
That's a lot of work.
But if you that's 2 matches a week, and if you lighten that person's house shows,
I think they tried that. That's how Becky ended up on NXT, and that's how Roxanne came up, and they was crisscrossing the brands all at one point. It just got a little muddy.
No. Just that one title, not NXT. NXT don't count for this. That's how I would do it. Because you guys have North American titles, so you have.
Well, here's the question: who's a woman's female? I don't know the correct term. I don't offend nobody. Woman, a female wrestler that you would want to see wrestle 2 to 3 times a week.
Yo, can I be honest?
Go ahead.
All right, I ain't gonna hold you. I like Lola Vice, and probably for all the wrong reasons. She's got a dope background with the.
That's what you call it now, a dope background.
Nah, she does with Taekwondo. Anytime you have a mixed martial arts fighter, or a wrestler, or a boxer,
I know what you mean.
But oh yeah, I'm about, you know what I'm saying. But I'm gonna be honest too. I'm gonna be honest. Like women, they gotta look the part, and if you don't look the part, then they gotta put you in a different role. For instance, Piper Niven, right? You have to make her a monster. She's a bigger woman, Nia Jax, and I'm not talking about the look. Like
Piper can wrestle though. Her skill set doesn't give monster.
Right. However, Lola got a wagon, so her outfits are highly enjoyable.
I don't know who I would want to see 3 times a week wrestling in the ring. Maybe twice.
Nah.
My picks are coming from NXT though.
Crab joints under the cheek, under the bottom, so it's jiggled every time she got in that bongs. I was like, okay, she wavy back there, wavy in the back. Nothing wrong with that. But she can wrestle though. Now I'm going to say this because I'm not just going to turn it to an aesthetic thing, like because I physically like what I see. You know what I'm saying? She needs work on her mic skills. She gave that story about her mom, her and Roxanne, and I was lost.
You took an L.
That shit sounded like Ben stopped for clear, dry eyes. And the worst part is she was like 100% serious. It's just the wrestlers talk with pauses to make sure the audience can follow along. Because, I want to see somebody, like when she was on a headset with Booker and she started talking Spanish, it was sped up. Right? Because Spanish, like the Spanish language is like it's like writing in cursive. It's connected.
Well, that might be her first language. Might be what she's fluent in, and English could be her second language. The thing is,
I think about her English is bad. Every like Stone Cold, every person, they talk with pauses and they talk slower. But sometimes I feel like when she got on the headset though and she started talking Spanish, she wasn't talking for the audience to catch it. She was just talking, and that's what I want.
She should do that in the ring. Just talk.
Yeah, that's what I'm. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. I think we forget a lot because it's such a good product at times. NXT is still developmental, so she's still learning all that stuff.
Right. But I'm gonna go over some numbers. AEW was doing 300,000 views a week on their network, and NXT the week of Sexy. We use the Sexy Red week. 719,000 the week before Sexy Red, 768,000 the week of Sexy Red. So I just used Sexy Red, but I said I wasn't. So it's like, damn. And Raw was doing 1.6 million views, and the Friday show, SmackDown, was doing 2.2, 2.3. So you're looking at the developmental that is literally its own company. I mean, WWE is competing against himself. Like AEW competition, but you can't even... You're doing half the numbers that the WWE developmental doing.
Hey,
and their developmental don't feel like it's got its own feel. It's got its own pay-per-views. It's
still developmental. So
you right. But god damn, the females in NXT, and not just aesthetically. I like Kalani. I ain't gonna hold you, man. I'm happy. DNA
Carmelo Hayes got to see you.
Nah, he ain't got to see me. You know, I'm happy for all my brothers. You know what I'm saying? However, I thought, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, I hope you have a little wrestling baby. You know what I mean? But Lola, with her background, with her finisher, very
right
good.
now, NXT women, you can call up one. Right now,
Roxanne. Yeah. If I have to call
I'm going Jada Parker.
There's no bad choice. Miss Shin is already being called up accidentally because she keeps going up there to fight people. Her matches are always good. She just always gets beat. But her, you know what I'm saying? Her matches are always good.
New. She looked like she dropped some weight, toned up a little bit, and she changed her ring gear. She refreshed the character, and that's what the aggravating thing is. The character's been refreshed, but nothing else. Same story.
Vinny, I agree with you. However, I would much rather, you know what, wrestling wise and shit, your Piper Niven does not. You're right. I'll just leave it.
She's been a champion everywhere but WWE.
And I would have liked to see him. I think I picked Piper Niven. I did at Clash of the Champions. She was my pick.
Clash of the Castle.
Clash of the What did I say?
And see, she was someone who had to fight out of a bad gimmick too. Remember, she was Dewdrop.
She definitely did. But she can wrestle, and I would like to see her with a world title. But see, that's again, we talk about the mid cards. I would
like to see Piper, if it ever becomes something, which I don't think it will be. I would have liked to see her in the Y6 instead of Nikki Cross.
Piper Niven?
Bruh, Piper can go. You talk about that's how you make her a monster.
If anything, go call Wendy Chu. And that whole sleepy gimmick that she does, where she's like the anime type of, and she's putting them to sleep. And since she's in that gimmick, I mean, just call her up that she's been called. She had a dream, and we all know she's been asleep. That's her whole gimmick. It was
all a dream. I used to read where
she be putting them to sleep. I love what she's done.
Had to be up in the limousine.
Very aggressive style to it. Now that she oh my god, I love it.
So as a wrestling fan, were you satisfied with this weekend?
Hell yeah.
I was disappointed with the go home show for SmackDown. It didn't feel like a go home show.
We talked about that. Right?
This is what made me kind of sad. I thought we was going to get this huge surprise, and all we got was teary eyes because John Cena saying this is it. The John Cena farewell tour has begun, people.
And I'm happy for that, though. I'm very happy for that. He looks old. He needs to go out as a legend and not just a fucking afterthought. So why not? Hey, man, I got 1 year left. And he clarified at the press conference that WrestleMania is not his last match. It's just his last WrestleMania. He's going all the way to December. So
I read he's going to do about 20 to 30 joints.
20,
and
30 to 40
he's going to be
matches.
active. He's going to be in a Rumble. So that's going to be exciting to see. And
John Cena win that Rumble. You know my booking. I said it yesterday. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And take that belt off Cody and give it to Randy Orton and let them headline WrestleMania. CM Punk and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
If they were going to do what they did last night, John Cena should have won the Money in the Bank.
No, you had no time to get him because I don't know what he's currently working on right now. Must not be too much because.
But that's the beauty of it. You never know when he's going to appear or pop up with that briefcase, so he can go away. But when you see him, you want alert. Oh shit! I don't know. He on the movie set with the briefcase. You know what I'm saying? He is, and it's like, oh, he got the brief. We don't know when. So because they wasted this. This Money in the Bank was a waste. If Tiffany Stratton doesn't become champion, they could have scrapped the whole pay-per-view.
I don't think it was a waste. Here's why. One, I think Andrade is a waste. He's not going to be unless they start giving him the Albert Del Rio type of push. I don't see it. Chad Gable, he's involved with this Wyatt 6 somehow. We still haven't even gotten the first layers about.
Chad Gable and Drew McIntyre are doing the best work of their careers right now.
Yeah. Ain't that something? And he's still involved with the Alpha Academy and
Academy.
Yeah. So can't move him yet. He's a piece on the chessboard that's been, locked in. Who else was in there? Main event Jay, we know he's got to go back to the bloodline.
Mid-card Jey Uso, get out of here.
Mid-card Jey Uso. And who else was in that match last night? Why can't the night before, whatever it was? You had Chad Gable, Andrade, main event. Oh, LA Knight. He still got to go against Logan Paul for the U.S. title, probably at SummerSlam. This feud's been dragging forever, 1 week at a time, missing a week here and there. But remember, it's still LA Knight versus, and then he's probably going to win that belt and then be the U.S. champion full time, defending it.
You see, we got us a gamer in the room. Yeah, for those who don't know, we are actively on WWE 2K24 quite often. Myself, HP, and DNA. So, Big Bando TTV, we definitely gonna give you an ad, and you're gonna have to catch these hands, fam. I mean,
well, apparently DNA can, because he's been reversing them.
Did they be cheating?
I feel like he got one attached to your controller that.
Yeah, but it's Hall Peasy. Is yours Hall Peasy, right? Mine is Archie Carter Live.
Yeah, Hall Peasy.
And Archie
ALLPR. I think I could post it.
Yeah, Archie Carter Live is my gaming tag PSN name. But hey, I'm gonna see. We're gonna see about adding the Big Bando. Yeah, we game. We don't just talk wrestling. We go to wrestling events. We play the game. We interview, and that's why I ask, most times, what city are y'all in? So when we do come or it is an event, we could link up and meet up. Because if you missed it, DNA, it was a watch party actually in the tri-state area in Jersey. He invited, he said, if you're watching this live and you want to pull up to the watch party, let me know and you can pull up to the watch party. So when I'm asking what city y'all's in and all that, it's because it's research purposes. So we might pull up. There's some traveling going on right now. That's why DNA came in and left and came in and left, because he's traveling right now to a city. I can't tell you where, but it's something real big happening tomorrow that one of us are involved in, and it ain't me. This guy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's more content and stuff happening. How deep can y'all get on matches there? Like 6? Yeah, it goes. I think it's 8-man you can get in there, right? It's either 6 or 8. But then, of course, we do the Royal Rumble. So it's like, you get your man and you get eliminated. You get the next man up. So it's just a good time. So if y'all want a game, get on a 2K.
I ain't like how y'all threw me out as the first man. Like, y'all didn't even get the computer out. Y'all got me out.
Hey, you know
y'all
what I'm
had
saying?
Shawn Michaels walking to the back as another entrant was walking in. And I'm like, God damn.
I did it. I did it for The Rock.
I did it for The Rock. Hey, yo, I'm gonna get back to this Obafemi thing. And the reason why I want to get back to Obafemi, right? Because Trick Williams, and I kept saying it before he lost his title tonight.
Man, I see you. Here we go.
So since we talked about women's mid cards, belts and stuff, would you rather see one of them to go to the main roster to clear a spot for the other one? Like, do you think Obafemi could go to the main roster today? I do. And I think he could be well used.
And do what? To do what? Because you have to think, both of your big titles are tied into long stories right now.
No, I need a mid-card title.
But that's my thing. Most of your mid-carders are tied into these stories too.
But you can't put him in there like today and then expect him to go for SummerSlam. You put him in there today and going, I'm going to have him take the title at Royal Rumble.
If Obafemi goes to the main roster and becomes a monster, it's a waste. We have monsters here already.
Who?
Braun Strowman.
Braun
Breaker.
Braun Strowman is like Monsters Inc. though. He's you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not.
What's the monster name? Monsters Inc. Mike Mikowski's Mike was out sipping on some scissor. But I'm talking about that big dominant presence. Because even though Brian can't bend his knees and he walk like Hank Hill dad Cotton,
now before he left, he was a monster.
I'm just saying, I'm talking about big in stature and moveset. Let's just stay there,
but
right?
Remember, Obafemi is 6'6". He's not as big
as Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman. There's
it's Bronson Reed. They build him as a monster. It's Brian Breaker.
There's Otis.
They built Otis that strong, you know what I'm saying? Powerhouse. Let's call it a powerhouse. And not a monster. Let's go powerhouse. Right. You have
Braun Breaker, powerhouse.
So yeah, he would just be the AOP of powerhouses. You just have these big men, and Oba would just be in the line with those big men. Mm-hmm. You don't think so?
Because when Oba gets there and he says, I am unstoppable. Like, he is M'Baku. And I feel like if you run him like M'Baku, not a comedy M'Baku that we got in Black Panther 2, where he was like, I will eat your children. And then my man, and they laughed and shit. No, I'm talking about it's challenge day. Like when he came out there at first, you know, and you keep that look to him. And you keep him aesthetically looking and feeling like Francis Ngannou before the knockout from Anthony Joshua, right? After he beat Tyson Fury, they were like, well, he didn't beat him on record, but most people felt Francis Ngannou won that fight. And then even the way he left the UFC as champ, you keep that like Nigerian.
But I don't think that goes too far.
I think it goes real far. I think it goes very far because when you have him get there, first you have to beat some small people up. Have him beat up the fucking.
I think Ivar is down in NXT right now.
He can beat up the Alpha Academy for all that matters.
Because Eric got hurt. I think Eric might be done with wrestling on the Viking Raiders. So Ivar, I believe Ivar is down in NXT in regular clothes. Oddly enough, I think he dropped the Viking gimmick. Actually, last I saw, he was down in NXT. So
yeah, but I think it could carry out as long as you have people to feed him. And then a Royal Rumble, you look at giving him his mid-card title shot so that other people get runs. You let whatever. He needs a feud. Yeah, I think that works.
So shout out to everybody tuning in on Twitter and YouTube. I think we're going to take this ship into port in a little bit. But like always, y'all got questions or comments, drop them real quick. A little rapid fire type situation, and we'll get to them. But before y'all do that, again, 5 minutes after every WWE event. Raw, 5 minutes after we live. NXT, 5 minutes after we live. SmackDown, 5 minutes after we live. And our brother, our podcast chief, DNA, is here with us. But like I said, he's traveling right now because we got stuff in motion. So he tapped in earlier, tapped out. He may tap in again. Who knows with DNA? But DNA is active and he's here. Not only is DNA active in here, sometimes we have other guests from various walks of life in battle rap world. Tay-Rock joined us. Lady Caution joined us. We had a few other people lined up, but again, people busy scheduling things. But yeah, DNA is on. Tay-Rock joined us. Caution joined us. Zeta Dropout joins us. And 5 minutes after every WWE event, we live. 5 minutes after pay-per-views, we live. And on Tuesday, we drop new content for our Double Up series. And got some new exclusive content coming from myself, Lee Archie Carter, and King HP coming to Patreon, some exclusives. We got new interviews dropping, new content, exclusive things. So if you're new to the Attitude Era podcast, it's wrestling and rapping and anything in between. But mainly we come to talk about what happened, what's happening. And if it's anything that's breaking or new, we cover that too. We cover behind the curtain WrestleMania 40. We covered who killed WCW. We even got into a little Twitter beef with Vince Russo because DNA hit him with some bars. Vince Russo hit him with a rebuttal. So it's a lot going on the Attitude Era podcast with me, the Archie Carter. That's King HP. And yeah, so we're going to take it to the house real quick. Good night.
Anybody else? Any last things? Well, if not.
Yeah, we had like 1:10. Let's give them a couple minutes, HP, before we wrap it up. But good weekend, good strong week of wrestling, good pay-per-view. I'm curious to see what happens Monday. Does Seth Rollins kick off Monday Night Raw?
Yeah. Because Drew is suspended indefinitely.
They got to clean this mess up. It's a mess. Or maybe Punk. They got to. I don't know what Punk does. Shout out to Vince Andretti. Yes, sir. Y'all keep coming back. We're going to keep showing up. It's real simple.
Yeah. But we'll have to tap in with us tomorrow, man. Like, hey, it's Monday night. Recap. And 5 minutes after Raw. That you know where we're at. So
we're right here on the Attitude Era podcast. Live on YouTube. Live on Twitter. Okay, it's been 2 years. Yeah, Cora Jade. She's an NXT darling. I know she's recovering from something and she's popping back up. So we'll keep an eye on that again. Anything happening in NXT, we're going to be here to talk about it because 5 minutes after NXT, we live. So good weekend in wrestling. Anything you got to say, H, before we get out of here? Because I'm about to hop on that 2K. And if anybody want to catch these hands, Archie Carter Live, PS5.
Nah, I'm good for the night. And I think that what a great weekend of wrestling, whether you agree with the decisions or not. Matches were great. Just real quick on this PLE, I just need your number out of 10. I'm gonna do mine, and then we can we get our AER rating, and then we'll end it. We'll end it right there.
This was a solid 8 for me.
Well, there you have it. That's easy as hell because I had it as an 8.
8 is 16 divided by 2 is 8.
Yeah, it's an 8.
I did go to school in Louisiana, but I can't count.
Quality of every match was outstanding. One gimmick match, the Fatal 4-Way. But
so the main roster pay-per-view is like a 6'2", 6'5".
616.
So NXT was an 8?
An 8. Even if I try to lower, I really couldn't lower. If anything, I'll bump it up a little bit, maybe 8.25, but I got it as 8. Solid.
And
the only thing I can say is it could have been longer, less filler, like as far as there's no match fillers, but the in between the matches or the stuff they show you and all that. But every match was on point. Every match meant something because every match had a title on the line. And only one guy lost it, Trick Williams.
I'm trying to forget about it, Jerry.
My bad.
I'm trying to forget.
My bad.
Maybe why do you want to rip off the Band-Aid if that the bleeding just stopped?
Crystal Clear has it as a 9 out of 10. I'm not mad at that. Again, I have it as 8 out of 10. Even if I bump it up to bump up.
I mean, we got it as an 8 overall, so I mean 9's not too bad.
9's not too bad. That means he was happy with the wrestling, and I'm not
now,
mad at
whether
that.
I disagree with the decisions and the wins and losses, what I do love, and I've said this the past few shows, recaps, reviews, in this new era of WWE, it's not predictable. My picks have never been this bad in my whole tenure as a fan and doing picks and predictions. I've missed a lot. So that's good because the curveballs are coming. It's not predictable. And that means you actually have to watch match by match to see what happens. And that's good. That's entertaining. And that's the Paul Triple H Levesque era. Making it good.
Absolutely. So on that note, I don't see any more scores coming in. We got the AER, which is the Attitude Era podcast rating, as an 8.
The 8.
Overall, what a great week of wrestling. Tune in tomorrow night. We'll be back tomorrow night. Make sure that you sign up for the Patreon. I do want to give a disclaimer. There's a $5 tier and a $10 tier. Those are great tiers. But do not do the $20 tier. We're looking to take that one off to make things more accessible to the viewers. This way they have a little bit more choices. Some things will get dropped earlier and with a couple more items.
Yeah, more content, less choices. Because one thing about the Archie Carter, man, let me tell you one thing about me. When I go to a restaurant, if it's a menu with a bunch of stuff on it, I don't want to eat there. I'm confused. I like it simple. I like good food, simple choices. And that's what we're doing with the Patreon. We're giving you a couple of options, all great options. Big difference is maybe the timing of it. You might get it a week earlier, you might get it a few days earlier, but you got to get the Patreon to see. But it's good option. It's not a bunch of options. It's not a bunch of that. We simplifying and we streamlining and making it easy and user friendly. We like things user friendly around here, viewer friendly. Trick Williams will get a rematch with NXT because he wasn't pinned. Chris, I hope so.
Nah, he will, and that's gonna be
show. We have a Trick Williams interview on the Attitude Era podcast. Check that out.
Yes,
if you haven't seen it, Trick Williams, yes, Attitude. He sat down with DNA and interview. We got a lot of interviews on Attitude Era podcast. So
yeah, go ahead and go through them. Trick Williams was a recent one. Also, the Mike Chioda. A lot of people don't know who he is. If you don't know who he is, he was a ref. He's been in the ref. There's like 2 refs I can name off the top for like that need to be in the Hall of Fame. It's Mike Chioda and Earl Hebner.
And Little Nate. You don't got Little Nate up there?
There is nobody more. I think the 2 biggest refs.
Brett. We got Kurt Angle on we got Kurt Angle, Eric Bischoff, Godfather, D-Lo, Rob Van Dam, Sandman.
Yeah, so go ahead and subscribe to the Patreon.
It's a lot. So check out the Attitude Era podcast shows we've done. And like I said, 5 minutes after every WWE thing, we are here for y'all. So we appreciate y'all, everybody in Twitter, everybody on YouTube. King HP, he's that way. DNA, he's traveling. He popped in early, he popped out. But in the words of DNA, if he was here, he would say, good night.
Good night.
See y'all tomorrow, 5 minutes after Raw.